Hey guys, so yesterday was super light on content and I don't expect today to be much better, so I apologize. The first week of the month is always difficult and it's super difficult for me right now because I'm down several members of my team. However, I did want to show you guys really quickly my shawl box. So I have a box of all of my shawls. It originally started out as this box, which is made out of cedar. It smells so good. But obviously, you all know I have a lot of shawls, so they don't fit in here anymore. But I still keep that in the box with my shawls because moths. And it makes my shawls smell nice. So my shawls all smell like cedar now. So they're just kind of all in here. So I've got, let's go further back. I've got my snow melt shawl, my Bow Ties Are Cool MCal shawl, my Half Moon Oracle shawl, and I roll them up and put them in like these little tubes. I got that from the Knitting in Circles podcast. They used to do a podcast and they don't anymore. It was a couple, and I believe it's Amy. She did her shawls this way. I still follow them on Instagram. So anyway, today I'm going to wear my Exploration Station shawl because the leftovers from it are this Hedgehog Fibers Monarch. So it matches perfectly because it actually has the yarn in it. So it's that peachy color between the rust and the creamy color. That is the color up on my sleeve here. So I'm going to put my shawl on, get my coat on, and get ready to go to work. I thought I would also show you, also show you the knitting I've been working on this week while my car is warming up. So let me get out into the car and then we'll do that. So typically I just grab a coat. It's our coat closet right here. So I'm going to grab a coat and a hat and some mittens. We have a little box of stuff right here that I can just grab things from. But my shawls I keep upstairs, like I said. So today I think I'm going to use my Flora mittens. So I don't know where the other one of my Bunden mittens has gone. And sorry. These camera angles, guys. Super professional. I love my new house so much. Because we have a garage. I'm holding an extra mitten in my hand. Dear Lord. Meglin, Nina. Oh my God. Okay. Doorknob came off on the door. Great. I think it's come off before and my husband has had to fix it. He said it was not really put on there very well. That's the one problem with the house, is that many things were not done very well. But it's okay. Josh is pretty handy and he tends to over-engineer things, which, you know, is good. It's probably overkill, but things never break once he does them. Sorry, now I have to debag. Okay. Here's the shelving that Josh built. Ooh. See? We built it to have our pellets, salt, and then we'll get road salt and sand. That's all of our camping gear up on the top. 2 shelves, so tents and chairs, and then over there's our camp stove, coolers and everything, and then gas cans for our generator. Those are our trash cans, one of the kids' bikes. The other one is hanging up over here. I'm gonna get in the car now because it's freaking freezing. Whew. And in the middle there was a little lumber rack that Josh put in for holding all of our wood for our wood stove as he processes it. So we have kind of stages, but that would be the final stage where he brings it in and it's ready to use in the stove. But we have other places outside where it's just getting dry and seasoning. So I have to go out of the garage to warm up my car more, because obviously I don't want to asphyxiate myself. So we'll give it a second here. Oh my God, my hands are freezing. Garage. You gonna do it? Garage is being persnickety this morning. It went down and then it reopened itself. It appears to be working now. Oh my God. The day. Okay. One-handed podcasting. It's a thing. Let's see if you'll stay. I don't think you will. No. But it does give me something to rest on. So yesterday, I was in traffic for about an hour. I live about 8 minutes from my work, which is amazing. I have a very good commute, and I can't complain because my commute used to be at least 40 minutes. Sometimes it would be up to 2 hours with traffic, so way better. But yesterday, there was some sort of accident. So I was sitting parked on the road for a little while. So, yeah, what do you do when you're parked? You knit. So I had this in my bag, so I knit some on it. This is what I'm calling the love cowl. It's for Megwin. I'm trying to complete it for her birthday. So I believe I used cast on numbers similar to the sockhead hat. But I'm just knitting it in a tube, so I'm just knitting the straight part, and then when it gets long enough to where it's going to cover all of her neck, I'm going to put a second ribbing on there so that she can put it up over her nose, is the idea. And then when she's not wearing it like that, she can have it squished down around her neck. So I think I'm pretty close to that point. I'm sort of using my own neck as a guide because she's not that far off from me in size. So I feel like it's getting close, maybe another 2 inches. And then, you know, I'll do that same amount of ribbing on the top. And then it'll be done. I have another Little Bitty Delights stitch marker on there, which of course wants to turn wrong way. It's a tiny caramel mocha with a little biscotti on the plate. And I have an ink quill, or an inkwell and quill from my Harry Potter set. This one is from, shoot, I follow her on Instagram and I forget her name. I'll check and I will share the rest of the marker set with you at some point. But I have shared it on previous podcasts, so it's not new. It's one that I've had for a while. So that's one of the things I've been knitting on whenever I have a spare moment, because it's obviously stockinette, so it's very easy to do. It has a big floof of hair on it. Gross. The other thing I've been knitting on is one of the pairs of colorwork mittens for my family. I'm making 2 pairs of colorwork mittens, one for my mom and one for my sister. So these are the ones I'm doing for my sister. Hey, Missy. She said she wanted something with olive green. I tried to do olive green and cream, but the cream that I had was thinner than the olive green, so it wasn't working up very nicely in these particular mittens. So this is the inverse of the color palette that I used for the mittens I knit for Kristen last year for Christmas. So I'm knitting light blue Blacker Yarns Classic DK, and the olive green is Blacker Yarns West Country Tweed. I think they look really good together. And the olive, the tweed is very subtle. It is a multicolored nep, but yeah, it's super subtle. I'm knitting these up slightly larger gauge than I typically do, so I went up a needle size because my sister said she wanted them to be bigger. I believe she will regret that because she doesn't have as big of a hand as she thinks she does. Sorry, Missy, but you don't. So my mittens tend to be kind of loose on my hand, so I think these are going to be a little bit big, but that's okay because you can always layer another mitten under them. So I am knitting the, it's not the Flora pattern, it's one of the ones from the Cell Boot Club, part 2. It's the Marit mittens. So it looks like that. It's a really fun pattern. It looks really pretty, and I love that the flower is now starting to emerge. They're really nice. I'm getting weird light, I'm sorry, because I had to pull out from my garage enough so it would shut. So that means that the sun is kind of coming up over on that side of the house. That's the front, and then this is the palm. Obviously they're not blocked, so you can see they're a little bit lumpy bumpy, but that's all gonna smooth out when I block them. So I'm pretty well making my way on them, but I keep wanting to knit the hat from Kristen. I'm knitting the sparkling cider hat, and so I do a couple of rows of that first because I want that hat so bad. It's so pretty and soft, and I think it'll be really warm as it starts to get colder, and we've got a cold front right now, so it's pretty chilly, especially in the mornings. It's in the teens and 20s. So that would be, what, negative 15-ish Celsius? No. Subtract 30 and then divide by 2. So, if it was 15, it'd be negative 15 divided by 2. So roughly 7 degrees, negative 7 Celsius, 15 Fahrenheit. So yeah, I'm gonna go to work now, guys. Gotta go work. Hey guys, so it was a really rough day at work today. Clearly I didn't get all my eye makeup off. But anyway, I cast on for another blanket because I'm crazy. So this is the Northeasterly. It's a fairly new pattern that came out from Skananigans, and I've been following her for quite a while. I know she had a not really great Rhinebeck experience, so I'm glad that she's having such great success with her very first design. So this is in the Yarn at Home Mom. These were kind of more bright colors than I wanted to use for my Gibbum, my glittery blanket of unicorns and magic. So it is a glitter skein, but it's in the Lane Kim colorway, so bright pink with like neon purple speckles. It is beautiful though. So and even more special, you know, since Shannon is not dyeing yarn anymore. This is from one of the Gilmore Girls mini skein sets, and so my thought is that I might make this one be a lot more of the bright colors that I can't really use in my glitter blanket, and just some other scraps. And I'm thinking of doing each stripe in different tones of color, so I'll have a stripe that's all different pinks, and so on like that, to just give it a little bit of structure. But yeah, so far so good. And of course it's garter stitch, which I love. Yeah, we'll see how it goes, but at least it's something to do at bedtime. So just getting a couple of rows in, just to calm me down, because I have to get up early again. I have like an 8 o'clock meeting. So anyway, see you guys tomorrow.